Hi everybody, my name is Jan Dufour and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live out just outside of Louisville, Kentucky. Today I'm going to do the first part of a two-part series. I want to show you how to use our hybrid embossing / die and all the different things that you can try with them and play with them. And then next week I'm going to show you the cards that I made using that. If you are seeing me on YouTube and you want a project sheet, I'll have a very short one for using this because it doesn't have a lot of things to show, but you need to go to stampmesilly.com, which is my blog. If you have a question or you would like a free catalog, you can email me at jandufour@yahoo.com. And if you'd like to purchase any of the things that you see here, you can go directly to my store, jandufour.stampinup.net. Because this is the beginning of, or in the middle of January for this, there's a special going on. First of all, there's Celebration. For every $50, not counting tax or shipping, you can earn free gifts. There'll be a circle that will say free for $50, you get this free set. There are a few in the back that are a little bit bigger, and it's a $100 purchase. Oops, I was trying to find this one. The dies are a $100 purchase, and then the Jungle Pals is a $50 purchase. So in order to get both of them, you would need to spend $150. You'd get these two things free. With that, you'd get $15 worth of rewards. And so that would add to the different things that you could purchase. All right. The other thing is there's a join. And again, I don't usually push joining my team, although we can have a lot of fun. But this January and February for the Celebration promotion, you can purchase the same for $99. You get $125 worth of free product. You only have to pay tax. You do not pay shipping, which is generally 11%. And then you have a choice. There's, let me move this. This is our glass mat. It is 17 by 14, I believe, is the measurement. It comes with a silicone pad, so you can have a stamp pad on there and not move. And it also comes with our updated chamois. I don't know what they're calling it, but it stays wet forever. This is still damp from 4 days ago. It's much thinner and it is not quite as rigid as the other one was. That's the first option that you can have. The second option is that you can have an additional $30 worth of product, which means for $99 in tax, you would get $155 worth of product. Okay, the speech is over. It's not my favorite thing. I love to have team members, but it's just not my focus. So I will treat you good, and if you stay, great. If you don't, that would be fine too. So today we're doing some embossing and die cut. It's called Thoughtful Moments. It has a set, oops, I just lost one. It has a set of dies. Let me get the little one back where it belongs. They have some little, tidbits that you can add, leaves, flowers, rainbows, and stars. But the major one is this one, which is what I'm going to demonstrate. And what it does is it will cut out while you're embossing. Let me show you the embossing folder. I think you can see this better with the dark. Thank you, oh happy day, thinking of you, love you, hello, with sympathy, celebrate, just because, get well, and you make me happy. So it will emboss that, and at the same time, this fits in, oops, am I on the right side? Yeah. Well, yeah. It fits right in there. It locks in. So it's in the right place, and then when you cut, it will be embossed and it will have ink on it. Now the ink that you use, you can't use black. You can emboss on black, but you can't use an ink on it because it won't show. So the way this works is you need, it really fits well in there. Let me get that out. You need ink. I'm going to demonstrate with black. I have tried many things. That's why this video didn't have time to have other things. I've tried just applying this on there. It makes a mess of some of them, so it doesn't work as well as the way it was intended to work. Before I go ahead and actually do it, I want to show you some of the things I tried. This is the standard. This is what is expected for you to do. I did it in black. So there's thinking of you, and there's texture because it's embossed. I think you can tell from this side that there is some embossing. So it's outlined, outlined and embossed. And I did it in black. And then I tried it in Pretty Peacock. So it came out a little bit different. And then what else did I try with it just plain? I think that was it. So I tried, different colors and got great results, and thought that was great, but what else could I do? So I went ahead and tried several different things. This is just plain embossed. There is no ink on it when I embossed it. It popped, comes out because it's die cut. And then I put Wink of Stella, which I can't quite tell if you can tell, but it's shiny and it's very pretty. And against the dark, it doesn't really need the outline. Although if you do the outline, here's the alternative. This is done with the outline and the Wink of Stella. So obviously it's a lot more prominent, kind of depends on what you're going for. But Wink of Stella is fun. It really jazzes things up. This one, after I printed it or used the brayer and embossed, I colored the inside. I did it with Stampin' Blends for this section because I wanted to actually do some blending. And then, of course, I put Wink of Stella on top of it. Then I used our dye ink markers, our regular markers. They bleed a little bit. Still doesn't look too bad. Then I used our Stampin' Blends, which is an alcohol marker, which does not bleed as much. And you can do some shading as well. So that's how this mess happened. I was trying different things. I actually don't mind the way this looks. I don't like it with the dye ink marker as well because it does kind of spread. It's kind of out of control. Then I tried just coloring it and not putting Wink of Stella. And that stands out quite well. It's not bad at all. And then my last experiment was a total fail. Not a total fail. It's pretty much failed. I want to show it to you, though, in case it comes to mind and what you're going to be up against if you do try it. First of all, you don't have to do all of them when you do it. It's a 6x6. So you could put just a section of paper over where you wanted it and leave it in a square, which could be put on a card. So that's one thing. Then I really wanted to emboss it. So I tried it using Versamark. And then after I embossed it, then I put it in some embossing powder. This one is probably the best one. There is little areas where there shouldn't be stuff. But I don't think it looks bad. I mean, you could put it on a shabby chic card and it would fly. It would be fine. Some of them didn't take quite as much of the ink, so it was not as embossed as this is. Some of them really didn't take any at all because when you press it, some of the Versamark obviously came off. And so it was missing. Here's one that's about half and half. Again, I don't think they look terrible. They just are not going to look like what you're used to getting when you emboss. This one hardly had any, but it was interesting because it highlighted the outside of it because that's where some of the embossing powder stayed. So not too bad. I'm not going to throw these out. I probably won't use this one. There's too many dots and stuff in there that I don't like. But there's a couple of them that turned out okay. Just not what I thought it was going to be. I tried both rolling with the brayer Versamark, and then I actually even like turned the Versamark over and patted it. And this is what I got. So it's a great try. If you come up with a better way for that to work, I would be interested because I love it being embossed. But we're just going to do the way it was meant to be. And it's very cool. It's something that I think everybody would want to do. The sayings are perfect. They're all occasion. You could do all of them, not color them in, do them in black. Let me grab one here. Do them in black and just leave it. And then you can either, put it on a card later or color in and put it on there or Wink a Stella and do it. That part of it could already be done. You could just have a collection of words. So here's how it works. You take your brayer. This is a new thing that is it's a new old thing. We had one before. It was a little bit shorter, wouldn't work as well on a big thing like this, but, and I think the rubber is improved. But anyway, it does come apart if you want to run it under water, if it gets really, really dirty, which is what I did after the black ink, just because it was easier. So what you do is you got to roll the ink, which means, and this is a small pad, so it means you have to roll and roll and roll. You don't have to have it as dark as you think you do. That doesn't look very impressive, but it's probably enough. If not, we can get a little bit more. You're doing it on the side that has the Stampin' Up logo. That's important. It's the one that is elevated. This side is sunk. So you just go ahead and start brayering. And yes, I know it gets on the edges, and that's okay because it won't bother it. And as you can see, I have some of them, but not enough of them. So we're going to grab some more. Actually, my pad at this point is probably a little undernourished, and I probably should get some more ink on it. I'm trying to get the thank you a little bit better. Thinking of you, the E doesn't have anything. We can't be having that. Other than that, I think I have it pretty well. All right, let's try one more over here. Okay, now it looks a little bit messy, and it is a little bit messy, but it's okay that it's like that. And so then you next put the die cut on it. The elevated, the part that cuts is up. You'll know because it won't fit any other way. You kind of put it in there and it locks in. It's where it needs to be. And then you put the paper in. And then you close the die. And you don't want to move it around too much at this point. You want to keep it steady. When you do the die cut, and I don't usually do die cutting here because it's such a small space, but you're going to use what it says to use over here. The number 1 plate, it says with the 3D embossing, that's what this is. You're going to use the 1, as it points here, and the number 4, which is this one here. So you put the base plate, the die cut, and the embossing. And then you put the 4 on top of it, the gray one. And then I'm going to pull this over. You're going to hear noise because it's off camera, but I wanted to be able to show you how to do it. And so then I'm going to wheel it through. And I will admit it's a little bit more of a crank because it's thick. It's got a little bit extra and it makes a big noise and nobody cares. That doesn't mean it's going to hurt anything. It's fine. But because you're not only putting just the embossing, there's that other piece that's in there. And now we'll do the reveal. Ooh. We open it up. Get everything to fall off. We'll put that aside. I'll clean that up in a little bit. Okay, put that sideways. And there you have your thank you, your hello. Actually, I will tell you, this is not as good as it can be. Again, my ink pad really is thirsty. It just needs some more. But you can see how it works. With Sympathy, happened to get more of the ink, so that was good. So, and it also cuts them out. So you have this section that's there. Okay, so the next thing is we'll use the thank you and the hello. They're bigger and they're easier to see. I'll get rid of this and knock that over. I'll put these over here for now. I'll cover that up. So then the options for what you can do with them. I'm using Pebbled Path and Pecan Pie because what I'm making next week is going to want those colors. Actually, and I could do this one as well, just because. And so when you do these, you don't have to be like super careful. You use the small nib and basically you just run it up. This is a fat letter, so it took 3 strokes, but usually it's just one. It's elevated, so it kind of keeps everything where it should be. And sometimes all you have to do is like dot it, and that spreads the ink. So I'm just going around, and it's pretty forgiving. I mean, if you go off a little bit, it is not super noticeable. See, it's a little bit light right there, so I just barely dot that and it takes the ink. And then you go up here, thank, down here, and like that. So there's the thank. And then we'll do the you, and then I'll show you what I did afterwards. And I think it's my favorite. And that's using the Wink of Stella on it afterwards. I mean, it's pretty this way, and I think maybe because of the cards that I make next week with this, it goes with it better to have it a little bit sparkly. So here is the thank you. And I don't know how to show you that it's embossed. I don't think that's coming across very well. But it is 3D embossed, just like when you emboss something plain, background or whatever. It's got that texture. It's thick, and it's very pretty. So the thank you is like that. I don't think I have to do the hello to show you. Wink of Stella. Basically, when I did just because, I literally just swiped across it. I didn't try to get each letter. This one's got a little bit more space in between, so I'm just gonna go over it. Now, Wink of Stella will pick up dye ink. It doesn't seem to pick up much on the alcohol inks, which is what I use. The blends are alcohol inks. So I'm gonna do this, and then I will do the U, trying not to put my fingernail someplace where I can hold it. It darkens the color for one, and it stays that way. So kind of, you might want to go a little bit bit lighter when you start off. Let me pick that up so I can show you. I'm going to pick it up with a piece of paper so that I don't get it messy. But I think you can see, let's see, trying to see if you can see the Wink of Stella shining. It ends up being very, very pretty. And we'll use that on a card next week as well. So that's about it for this. This particular one is called Thoughtful Moments Hybrid. And we have had others. There's a couple in the other catalog, our annual. This one's the only one in the mini catalog. But I think we'll see more of these as people begin to use it. This is just a great sentiment. And even if you don't do anything, even if you just have them, it would be cut out. But even if you just have it say hello like this, it looks great when you put it on a darker background. So without going to any trouble at all, not even having to use any color on it, it still does a great job with just the embossing. And then again, like I said, if you add, let's see, I thought I had one of those, yeah. Then if you add the Wink of Stella to it, this has got no ink on it. It's just embossed with a 3D embosser. And then I put Wink of Stella on it so you could see it shine. And it looks great against a darker background. So that's all I have for this one. Again, it's using the die cut and an embossed hybrid. And it's called Thoughtful Moments. And I will have a very short project sheet just to explain the different things that I tried with a couple of pictures to show you how it turns out. And then next week, we're going to make some beautiful cards using the DSP again. And it's called Thoughtful Moments as well, I believe. Some beautiful, there's foil on one side, so that's always fun. But there's also 2 sheets of individual motifs that you can cut out and make 6 cards per sheet. So it's 12 cards almost ready made, and I'll show you how to do that next week. If you have any questions, again, you can email me at jandufour@yahoo.com. You can leave a comment down below. If you're on YouTube, you can go to my website, stampmesilly.com, or leave a comment here. Consider subscribing. I post once a week, unless there's a flash sale like free shipping. Thanks very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.